This is a real ironic situation. Think about it. Think about it for like 3 seconds of what's going on right now. It's the fact that 2 years ago when the first Amazing Spider-Man came out, I reviewed it with almost the entire Putnam crew. It was me, my brother, Shane, and Lucas. Now like 2 years later, the second one's out, and now I'm reviewing this now by myself. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the sequel to the reboot, The Amazing Spider-Man, and again, like the last one, this is directed by Mark Webb, and of course it follows Peter Parker. Spider-Man is played by Andrew Garfield. It's now focusing on basically him trying to deal with his life as Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy, his personal life, and what do you know, there's a huge showdown with 3 villains, which feels more like 2 villains, I guess you can say. I was psyched to see Amazing Spider-Man 2. I actually loved the first one. I didn't give it a perfect 5 out of 5, but if you guys remember, and that review I did with Shane, Lucas, and Alex, I gave that movie a 4.5 out of 5. It was excellent, and I was looking forward to this one. But then here's the thing, guys. I get that Sony is really proud of this movie, but here's the thing. When you do trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer, you're gonna risk spoiling stuff. And here's the thing, guys, with all the trailers I had seen, now that I've seen the movie, I can tell you guys right now, I think the trailers gave away, I think, half of the movie, to be honest with you. Now, I know the question a lot of you are gonna ask is this better than Spider-Man 3? I can say this with all my confidence that, yes, it is better than Spider-Man 3. I can say that without a doubt. The villains are actually better handled, well, the 2 villains. Rhino, yeah, he's really only in the movie for 2 minutes. But yes, it was better than Spider-Man 3 in a lot of aspects. I will say this though, this one is not as good as the first Amazing Spider-Man. I'd say this is a bit weaker, but at the same time, it's still good fun. Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man to me. He is the perfect Peter Parker / Spider-Man. I love how he keeps going with this, you know, shit-talking attitude about being a smartass and everything. There's a lot of scenes that I truly love. There was one scene with a kid that he was with, and I was just like, you know, that's cool of you to do, Spidey. That's awesome. Emma Stone was also great as Gwen Stacy. I loved seeing the relationship, their back and forth, their ups and downs and everything. I love their chemistry together. It was really good to see them work together. And the newcomers, Dane DeHaan is in this movie now as Harry Osborn / well, you know, Green Goblin. You guys already know that anyways because it's shown in the trailers. Dane DeHaan does a really good job. Now, I have some huge concerns with this guy. I'm afraid this guy's gonna be typecast as that angry guy who was abandoned by his family. Now, don't get me wrong, the guy owns that role. As Green Goblin, I think he went a little too over-the-top cartoonish. There were times where I almost started laughing because of what he was doing. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved his design as Green Goblin. He looked cool as can be as Green Goblin, but a little too cartoonish. The best villain in the movie is Electro, played by Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx was fantastic as Electro. I loved his setup too as Electro, being the guy that was saved by Spider-Man. He looked cool, he looked really menacing, and the score by Hans Zimmer is really well done as well. When the movie focuses on Spider-Man himself, the movie is awesome. The movie goes through some really strange tonal shifts. It goes from a really fun tone to a really just dramatic and dark tone at times. This is not the best Spider-Man movie. To this day, my favorite Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man 2 from Sam Raimi's original trilogy. Rhino was barely in the movie, and Paul Giamatti, I have to say, he didn't do it for me as Rhino. He said he wanted to be over the top as possible. Paul Giamatti, that did not work for you. You were just too cartoonish. I know you were trying to establish a fun tone with Rhino and everything, but no, it just didn't work. 3D, is it really necessary? No. It seemed like Mark Webb tried to shoot a whole bunch of webs and everything, weave them together in this really one big web, but some strings didn't work as good as other ones. Like, there were some scenes I absolutely loved that I thought were really impressive, and I thought that were actually really heartfelt, while there were some web strands where I was like, What? There are some scenes that didn't flow well with the others. Then there are some that did flow well. The plot seemed really disjointed at parts, but still, I was entertained by this movie, guys. Overall, while Amazing Spider-Man 2 isn't amazing as its title suggests, and it's not as good as the first Amazing Spider-Man, I will say this, it is better than Spider-Man 3. It is a good and fun start to the summer movie season. I'm gonna give Amazing Spider-Man 2 a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I liked the movie. It's just not as good as the first Amazing Spider-Man. Now, if you didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 1, you probably won't like this one. But if you do like Spider-Man, give this one a shot. You'll have a fun time with it. Alright guys, the summer movie season has finally started. So comment and let me know below of what is the summer movie that you are the most excited to see this summer. And I will see you guys next time.